Welcome, everybody. I am not Rick Dowd. I don't know if anybody could tell the difference. I'm Jen. I'm the clerk from Board of Education, but I'm going to be hosting tonight's party meeting because Rick is out of the state. So I'm going to call this joint special building meeting to order. It is 7:01 p.m. and we are in the Nashua North Boardroom. I will ask myself to call the roll.
Can you cheer more often?
Alderman Wilshire?
Here.
Alderman Timmons is not here. Alderman Sullivan?
Here.
We have Alderman Senate here tonight, but he hasn't been officially voted in, so he's just going to be our guest. Our warm body. No, we were more than that. But you are going to be visiting with us. Ms. Raymond is here. Ms. Bishop is here. Mr. Johnson here. Ms. Lopez here. And Ms. Prin is here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this brings us up to the prayer. And you guys all stand when you do this, right? Yep. All right. Almighty God, we have the high honor and serious duty to manage the educational affairs of our beloved city. Fill us, O God, with a spirit of unity and understanding, which enables us to face our multiple problems with a serene mind, with justice and charity for all, so that any and all decisions made by us will always be for the betterment and greater happiness of all of our fellow citizens. So help us God. Amen. And now the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Well, you guys don't do motions for, you guys, like I haven't been on this committee for like 5 years. So looking for, I'm just going to do it anyway because that's how I roll. Looking for a motion to accept the meeting minutes from July 24th, 2025, and I can't do it because I wasn't here.
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Lopez. All those in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
And I abstain because I wasn't here. Okay, so this brings us up to remarks by chairman, and I have nothing prepared. So we'll go over to Dr. Andre. Do you have any comments?
No, just quickly, I was able to be at New Searles the other day. Just looks absolutely incredible. Great work 2 weeks ago. We were wondering if we were going to be done, right? They're looking good, but no, the building looks absolutely fantastic. Also in Birch Hill and Main Dunstable. So the transformation now being a couple punch list things left, but looking complete. But really, all the work this last 6 months and over the summer, really kudos to the team, Sean's team. The buildings look absolutely fantastic. So really welcoming and inviting for our students on the first day of school.
Excellent. I can't wait to be able to tour all of these buildings. Okay, so this brings us up, sorry, Mr. Smith, sorry.
So a couple of things. The dedication ceremonies have been somewhat set. For Birch Hill, it'll be on Tuesday, October 7th at 2 p.m. And for Main Dunstable, Thursday, October 9th, also at 2 p.m. And I expect invitations to go out at some point to everybody. When it comes to invoices, I have a change to EEI's invoices. Upon further review, we decided that they haven't made quite the progress on the punch list, so I'm suggesting that we withhold part of the retainage. And I also have a presentation on Stellos Stadium, which I'll suggest we slide in after the PCOs.
While we're listening to Harvey's construction, do you have the numbers, the new numbers for the invoices tonight, or should I work on the math for that?
I did the math. I'll give it all to you when I get to the invoices.
Okay, perfect. I just didn't want to miss an opportunity to add things when people weren't looking at me, because I'm pretty slow. Okay, so I will hand over the floor to our construction managers for the Harvey report.
Hello, everybody. Brendan Norell, Harvey Construction Project Manager. It's an exciting afternoon, and I will walk you through a few updates and a few major milestones that we've come across over the previous few days at Birch Hill and Maine Dunstable. And then, as usual, I'll turn it over to my friend Mike, and he'll walk you through new Searles. So down at Birch Hill and Maine Dunstable, as Dr. Andrade had alluded to, it's largely punch list and closeout at this point. Provided that we did have the sort of extended duration between February and June as we were waiting for the student departure to do the exterior site work. It gave us that time to sort of slow down, address any items, also work with the school to bring up any final items that needed to take place prior to departure. So over the last 2 weeks, we've had Harriman walk through. On 8/14, they came through, they did their final interior punch list, looking at any of the work that had taken place over the course of the summer, any final items. We had the front office at Maine Dunstable was a final renovation and a few pieces of the puzzle. And then at the exterior, which was primarily the work that has taken place this summer, their civil team came through on August 20th, did a walk around, took a look at all of the new ADA tip downs and accessibility sidewalks and features that we added in over the course of the summer. Reviewed a lot of the parking lot striping that has taken place, and we've been working with Mr. Smith and his team to put also some additional striping to accommodate fire lanes and bus lanes and clearly navigate the site. Install final signage and start to pull all of our final items off of the site and fully demobilize. We have also been working on cleaning up the site, and today, just this afternoon, we received the final certificates of occupancy for both buildings. So a massive milestone and a great thank you to everybody for their participation and coordination over the last 3 years. I will share a few more photos to walk you through some of the exciting updates. I put together a few just before and afters to kind of show you the overall transformation. This shows you the front entry of Birch Hill. On the left side is obviously 3 years ago when we first started, us walking around the site taking some preliminary photos. And on the right side is what it looks like as of about a week ago. There has been, as you can see, we had some heavy rainstorms, some drain runoff, and as we're establishing some of the areas, so we've been bringing back the landscaper to clean up some items and just get everything truly finalized. Similar for the rear and some of the other aspects around Birch Hill. The new sign you can see here. In the middle photo, you can see the new bike racks that we were actually able to bring over from McCarthy. When we went to install them at McCarthy, just the spacing didn't quite lay out. We ended up with a couple extras. We were able to bring them over to both schools and install those here. So we extended the sidewalks, did some new landscaping. You can see now when you pull up to Birch Hill, you can see the front entry. We trimmed back the trees and really cleaned the area up so it looks nice, clean, and inviting. It came out great. Similar at Maine Dunstable, another before and after to show you on the left what it looked like 3 years ago, and on the right what it looks like today. Few more photos from Maine Dunstable just showing what has happened with the front transformation as we've gone through, milled, paved, seal coated, put down new sidewalks, new pavement, and new striping. You can also see the security bollards at the front of the school, and some things that you don't see in these photos is actually on the right side. That center island was one piece that we weren't able to completely redo. The sidewalk was largely intact. It's really an island that's not walked on, so we were able to freshen up the paint around the edges and kind of clean that up and make it look as if it is newly redone. So it really transformed the site, brought it to a state of completion over the next month and a half approximately. We will have 2 more items really on the list, mostly at Birch Hill. We have a modification to make to the sign, adding a marquee letter, just a final request. And then some wall pads that are coming in late that we had added in, moving around a quiet room at the end of the project. So those are really the final items, addressing any other punch list items that come up, and closing out the projects. I expect to be coming here in October with the final PCCOs and the final savings from the project. And at this current point, we're in a very, very good financial state. Any questions?
That is fantastic, and I was just gonna say that the things missing from the photo are probably the smiling children who are just absolutely loving being there. That just looks like such a welcoming place to walk into, so thank you so much for all of your work and all of the updates that you've given us. We're very proud of our schools here, and it really hinges on your backs and all of the work that you guys have done, so thank you. Ms. Raymond?
Thank you. I was so excited to see the bike racks. And I've had a number of neighbors stop me and talk about how excited they were for the bike racks. Because previously, the bike racks at Birch Hill were way down the hill, right on the edge of the property where the portables are now. And people felt concerned about the safety and whether or not the cameras were getting that exact space. And so I've had a number of neighborhood families be like, look, now you can ride your bike and put it right up front where it's safe and secure. It is a walking school, so I'm excited about it. It looks so good.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Any other comments or questions? Mr. Johnson?
Just as a designer, I really like the front entrances.
Yes.
Just the dynamic look of the name of the school right there. I mean, it's really, it's dynamic. It really works well.
Excellent.
Okay. Well, this brings us up to our, what is this next one? The quote from Eckert and Johnson, the New Searles Elementary updates? Oh, we're just doing that right now? Sorry. I like this meeting because Rick is so in charge that you can just turn your brain off. Not tonight. This is my brain on. Sorry, guys.
Hello, everyone. Mike Space, Harvey Construction, Assistant Project Manager, and I will be taking you through New Searles. So the last 4 weeks have been a big push to get this done. Our guys in the field did a great job of pushing and getting everything buttoned up. On the 22nd, we ended up getting a temporary certificate of occupancy. We had a little bit of a delay in our signage, which is holding us from getting our certificate of occupancy, but those should be in either next week or the week after. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we'll have the CO. So going into the first slide, I just wanted to get a overall image of the transformation of the front of the building. Currently, we have all new siding, metal siding on the front of the building. So originally, this was a curtain wall from the original building, and we took that down and put up new panels. Absolutely looks great. One thing that is missing at the moment is we are going to be putting in on top of the canopy a main entrance sign so everyone knows where to enter. So that will be coming as well. Going on to the next slide, on the left, I just wanted to take a closer image of the siding so you can see the different textures and how it transfers from green to the silver. On the image to the right is the walk-up entry to the canopy. So you can see there's a brand new walkway that leads from the crosswalk on the parking lot side straight into the entrance canopy. The photo on the left is another photo of the entrance canopy, and you can see there's a little guardrail right there for so people cannot come off and fall off onto the ground. On the right, there is a handrail for the step up to the entrance canopy. Right in front of the door, you can see a entrance grate where people walking in can kick off snow into the grate and everything will go down to the drain. And to the left, where you see all those rocks, there's a drainage system within the rocks. So anything that's coming off the canopy roof will go into the rocks and drain out, so there will never be a buildup of water. And the image to the left is just another image so you can see the soffit. Within the soffit, it's like a cream color soffit with some recessed lighting as well. The image to the right is a brand new sidewalk. It took 12 guys to do this in one day, so got everything done in one day. With brand new tactical warning plates. That's the yellow plate that you see right there. That's for ADA, so anyone that's blind, they can feel the bumps and know that they're coming into traffic. The image to the left, which was not in the original scope, after talking with Mr. Smith and with Mr. Lassard, that is the cafeteria. So we had talked about securing more than just the entrance canopy. So what we did is we added tinted security film to the cafeteria, so that way that area is secure as well. The image to the right is the replacement for the receiving door. So before, that was a wood door that had a plexiglass vision on it, and we opened this up to a 6-foot door that is a steel door with a security glass on that. The image to the left is the entrance to the vestibule, the secure vestibule. So you'll walk through the door and that's where you'll see. And the image to the right is the transaction window where you'll talk to whoever's behind the window to gain access. And that's going to be a secure point. The walls within that area is bullet resistant. So anything that happens, you will never be able to penetrate with bullets. The image to the left, that's as soon as you walk through the secure vestibule, that's the little waiting area. So they'll have some couches in there. And the image to the right, that is a look right down the corridor going down as soon as you enter. Just to the right there, that's the secretary area, and you'll see more images of that after. The image to the left, that is just a big window right into the principal's office. And where you see that gentleman on the left-hand side right there, that is Sam, our supervisor, and he's looking into the bathroom. Obviously, the image to the right is the bathroom. So tile floors, tile wall, everything's painted, ADA grab bars, everything is ADA accessible. The image to the left, that is looking from within the corridor, the existing corridor, looking into the new renovation area. So there's an access point there. The image to the right is the principal's office. Brand new flooring, a lot of lighting, a lot of room for her. The image to the left, and excuse the boxes and everything, everyone's trying to move in. This was taken today. This is the secretary area for the main office. As you can see on the left-hand side, you have the intercom system and some spaces for the staff to sit down and work. On the right-hand side is where whoever will be sitting there can talk through the transaction window and let people in through the door if necessary. The windows behind, they all have brand new shades, and all those windows are actually bullet-resistant glass. The dark panel that you see there, that's a temporary panel. We are currently waiting for awning windows to come in to install those. So that's just a temporary panel until we get those awning windows. So that will allow staff to open up the windows and get some airflow in there as well. The image to the left is just a storefront for the conference room. So it brings in a lot of light, and the image to the right is within the conference room. The image to the left is the assistant principal's office, and the image to the right is the workroom. Currently, we are in the process of building a brand-new mailbox for the staff. So right where everything is on the counter right there, there's going to be a big mailbox with 72 mail slots on it, so. And within the renovation of the curtain wall, it also affected some of the classrooms. So within the classrooms, we have brand-new millwork cabinets and brand-new heaters as well. So the radiant heat, the fin tube heat will be behind the millwork, and then into the countertops is little slats to allow the heat to come up through. And now we are in the OT-PT area, which is the second phase. The image to the left is the actual OPPT area where the teachers will work with the students. And the image to the right is just a little hallway to get back to the office, the teacher's office. The image to the left, this is going into the brand new classroom, and there's a brand new door there. And as you can see on the image to the right, within the classroom, we actually have blinds on the vision. So that way, if there's an incident, they can shut the blinds and no one will be able to see in. The image to the left is a wide image of the classroom. Brand new paint, brand new flooring, brand new heaters in there as well, and brand new blinds. The image to the right, I know it's not pretty, but this is a brand new air handling system within the school. So we replaced the existing air handling system, so this should be operate better and allow better airflow. Any questions?
Alderman Sullivan is reminding me that Rick would have wanted to share about the air handling. If he were here, he would say something like, that really moves us.
And I did forget to mention, we also did replace, or add, I should say, a RTU onto the roof. So we took a RTU from one of the old schools and put it into this school. So we have a new air handling system on the roof as well.
Very cool. Alderman Wilshire,
I like this.
can you put your mic on? Sorry.
The look of this, I mean, it upgrades the school just looking at it. I mean, it really looks nice.
Yep.
It's a good aesthetic for that school.
Looks great.
It does.
I wish I had the curtain wall area was not in the original scope of work, so we did not have a pictures for me to do it before and after, but I would have loved to have shown that.
Came out good.
Ms. Raymond, then Alderman Sullivan.
Thank you. I just wanted to go back to the new entrance, and I have two questions. The first question is there a wheelchair accessible way to get to that door?
Yes, so the walkway is a ramp that goes up. So when you first walk in.
One side is the step, and then the other side is the ramp. Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha. I'm getting old. I couldn't tell in the picture. I was like making it big on my screen and peering. And then the other question I have is the old entrance, which was like all glass there. Has anything been done with that?
That's still there. What we did do with that is we were actually replaced the existing flooring in the vestibule. So it was like a carpet flooring, and now we have essentially a rubber mat for people to kick off the shoes. So anyone that's going into the vestibule on both sides will have the rubber mat.
Okay. Thank you.
The students will still go in through the old door. So
The
it's
old door at the beginning of the day. and
Exactly.
The end of the day.
So
Okay.
those doors will still be utilized.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it since you took the Christmas wrapping off the outside. So it looks really good. And just kudos to you and the entire team
Thank you.
for remaking that school.
Absolutely.
Especially on the inside. So it's a nice touch for the neighborhood and the ward. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. We couldn't have done it without everyone's help. The staff there was great. They let us stay late a few nights. They helped us out tremendously. The principal and her staff, they moved into the cafeteria for a little while to allow us to work in that area so they can move in, and everyone was great to work with.
Yeah, and it's clear that this wasn't just a facelift. You guys transformed a lot of that building into much more functional space, so.
It was a big push.
Yeah. But it was good.
We have a little bit more work to do, but we're pretty much there.
Good. We like to hear that. Mr. Johnson?
No, just an amazing job. That was our school. And it's funny because I drove by this morning, I was taking my child to Mass Art to check in to their dorm today, and they said, I want to go by New Searles before we leave. And they were like, wait, that's not New Searles. I said, no, it is New Searles still. And they just loved how it looked and everything, and were very impressed. So a tremendous job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, guys. Mr. Smith for the Stellos update.
Okay, thank you. So many of you already seen the field. The graduation was held there this past June. And so a lot of these features you've already seen. I just wanted to point out a few things. So what we did, aside from replacing the turf and doing some work underground to improve drainage, was to add a fence around the entire field itself. And that you can see the yellow padding on top of that, which is a safety feature. So that'll keep people in the stands from getting on the field. There are gates strategically around that fence to allow the right people to get in. And why don't we go to the next slide, please? So this is just looking the other way. And so same thing there. It's just what you can see, there's a slide later on. You can see little green signs going across the front. Those are brand new gates. And we'll get to that a little bit later. So left hand is just a close-up of the fence that was installed with the safety padding. The one in the middle was my attempt to show you the brand new poles, and the net that is between the poles that goes up when the field goal kickers are there, the soccer people are kicking balls into the woods, it's hopefully to catch all that stuff. Then on the right-hand side, we replaced all the lighting. Musco is the name of the company that does it, so it's now LED, and that is 98% complete. They have to come back, and a couple of lights, the ballasts were bad, but they'll take care of it. On the left is for one of the gates that were installed. After looking at it, the fire department asked us to put I call them a crash bar. So if you've been to Franklin Street, there's a playground, and to get onto the adjoining street, it's actually a push thing. So in an emergency, people don't have to grab and look for a lever or something like that. They just push and go. Part of the project was to replace all the window shutters and the press box, and you can see all those are brand new. They're activated from the inside. And so one of the last big pushes is to get the concourse painted. So this is the Rhino Shield product that we have a 5-year warranty, I think it is, to do. They did prime it, we watched it for the last 2 weeks. And just the past couple of days, they've got to this stage where most of the concourse is painted. I've been told that they will actually wrap it up tomorrow. Next slide. So these are the locker rooms, brand new floor painting. It's like a non-skid paint, the sort that you'll see in the city's swimming pool in those rooms. So that came out very well. And it's just a kind of a written update here. So other things that I didn't show you pictures of, there's a roof above the concourse that I was told was complete. After visiting the site today, I'm not so sure. So we'll be calling them back. There's overhead doors in the concourse that go into the bathrooms on either end. We're improving how that opens. Because right now, you have to get down and unlock it, and your knuckles are dragging on the cement. It's kind of tough to do it. So we'll improve that. Once all the painting is done, then my crew will come in and install new LED lighting in the concourse. You already know that we have those turf protectors for graduation. New field groomers also already been received. They still have to come back and do the thermostats for the locker rooms. There's a scoreboard, a board that had to be replaced, and a scoreboard, we replaced that. And what we'd like to do at some point is put a paved walkway on the west side of the field. So the only way to get to the visitor side right now on a paved surface is on the east side. And that's also the handicap accessible side. We'd like to put one on the left, trying to convince my friends in DPW to use their sidewalk machine to do that. They're busy. I didn't ask them until probably May, and the season was already spoken for, so hopefully next year. A very late breaking thing that we just identified the last month. And if we go to the last slide, please. So we're talking masonry units. So we're finding, this is if you're facing the stadium from YMCA, this is in the far right-hand side, and this is a column. It's there's a steel column behind that. This kind of wraps it, but it is cracking. I'm talking about kind of the one in the middle, so that's right at the corner of the building. On the left, you can see some of the concrete is falling off. It's some easily fixable. But as we got towards the front, so the field side of the stadium, we saw a lot of water penetration. So in that far right-hand corner, you can see just in the corner of the picture, actually the middle of the picture, in the corner, is there's a lot of efflorescence and water coming in. And then we went around the inside, so underneath the stands looking back up, and it's pretty apparent where water's coming in. So that, when I say I need to go back and with the roofers and address some things, that's one of the issues. So I actually asked the original architect for Stellos to come back, and he brought an engineer, and they looked at all the stuff. So they already have the structural drawings, they already know what they're looking at. And they'll provide a report, which I'll share with you next month when I receive it. So that's a upcoming traction. I don't think it's terribly expensive to deal with. As you'll see tonight, we have roughly 140,000 left in contingency. It's actually more because there's various project pieces that I haven't zeroed out because we've already paid them out. So we're in pretty good shape financially. Any questions? Good.
Thanks, Sean. Looks fun. That ground was much, you could tell the difference when we were walking on it for graduation, like, oh, it's like when you get new sneakers and you're like, what have I been doing to myself for months?
I should have mentioned when we were talking about new SERLs, so the PTO just paid to have a portion of the playground, like the far left-hand side as you're facing the playground. They had the rubberized material installed, sort of like we have, again, at Franklin Street. Sort of like if you're a cat, you're kneading in it, it just feels very comfortable to the feet. So they installed that, and they paid for it, and it came out very good.
Very nice. All right, well, thank you for those updates. Football season starts next week, so,
Next
I'll be
Friday
there.
night's first game.
yeah. And come sit with me, I'm normally there by myself. Not, I don't, my kid's down there, not just at football games as an adult. Well, we should accept that as well. Anyway. The next item, we're up to the PCCO number 2, right?
Yes, so I have PCCO number 2, which is for the receiving door replacement, which was on that image. It was for that 6-foot steel door with the security glass on there. This was presented at the last meeting as a PCO, which was approved. We just have to finalize with a PCCO. And this is for the cost of $22,953.36.
Okay. So I'm looking for a motion to approve PCCO number 2 for New Searles Elementary School to replace the existing door for $22,953.36. So moved. Thank you, Alderman Wilshire. All those, any comments or questions? Seeing none. All those in favor of approving PCCO number 2, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, and this brings us up to our invoices. I'll hand the floor back over to Mr. Smith.
Okay, thank you. I talked about briefly up front, the
Just did.
work at Birch Hill and Main Dunstable really had two major forces at work. One was Harvey, another was EEI, or Energy Efficient Inc. EEI was responsible for the MEP type work, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and Harvey did all the rest. So they've requested retainage release, so in other words, we pay it off completely. We told them about a month ago, there was about 24 items that still need to be addressed. And I said, if you get these done before the next joint special, then I'll be happy to recommend releasing the retainage. So the bottom line is they didn't complete it all. If there are a couple of dozen items, they maybe complete a quarter of them. So I'm recommending that we release some of the retainage, but not all. I'm recommending that we withhold 40,000 for each school. So that's 80,000 total.
Mr. Smith, did I miss number 2, the quote from Eckert and Johnson for New Searles Elementary?
You did. It's okay. We can go back to that because I haven't really got into it yet.
Okay.
So that quote is to replace the exhaust fans that are on the roof at New Searles. And discussing with Alderman Dowd on how to approach it, he felt that this committee could approve everything related to the construction. So the exhaust fans that were, for instance, over the new office area, the classrooms, because that got affected, and the old office area, and we basically split the bill. So the amount that we have on there, 39,000, is our share of that. Harvey's actually taking on a little bit more than that to pay for some your time, I guess. So it's an equitable way to do it. The fans are from the last time the school was renovated, which was the early 90s. They're at the end of their service life. It's definitely time to replace them. So I recommend we approve that invoice.
Okay, and that was for $39,000?
Let me shuffle my papers so I'll get the exact amount. Getting closer, unless you guys have it over there.
It's a race to the finish line.
Yes, it is.
Hope no one ends up exhausted. That was pretty good.
Probably the very last one in the pile, I bet you.
Dr. Andre wouldn't even make eye contact with me. He just sat over there, disgusted that he has to work with me.
I'll go to my financial sheet because I think it was on there. No, it's not on there. Darn it. You guys didn't bring that with you? Did not?
I have it, but I just have to find the email.
Should have been in your package too, if you happen to have that.
It's for a PO for $39,946.08.
So if I could just ask, please, so this is a change order request. This isn't an invoice? It's listed in the agenda as a quote. Help me understand.
So there are 20 roof exhaust fans.
Yep.
And 10 of them are within the secure area, and 10 of them are outside of the secure area. So Harvey is going to take on half of that cost within the budget, and the other half is going to be provided by Nashua to replace the other 10. So this was a quote, and I believe we are asking for approval for.
My humble apologies. The reason I couldn't find it, because it doesn't belong in this committee. I didn't bring it with me. It's being paid for the deferred maintenance funds. So we've actually already gone through the Board of Ed for approval for that. What is happening, though, is Harvey is doing the other half of the work, but you're using funds that you already have control of.
Correct.
So there is no change order.
No change order.
Okay. Yes. So we're just advising you we're doing this work.
So, I'm sorry.
Ms. Raymond?
I know that you mentioned it at our meeting on Monday, but has it already gone through finance to the full board or not?
It already went through the full board.
Okay.
That was this past Monday.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, it was 148 pages, so I'm like scrolling furiously and not finding it as quickly as I want. Okay.
So we should be striking this from our agenda, because this has already been
Correct.
processed.
Yes.
Putting it in our notes.
My apologies.
is that
That's
right?
why I couldn't find it.
Okay. So I wasn't wrong when I accidentally overlooked number 2 on the agenda. I just like to point out when I'm not wrong. Okay, back to invoices, Mr. Smith.
Okay, so we have an invoice from Aloha Garage Doors, $16,875. Those were for the new shutters and the press box at Stellos. We have 4 invoices from Energy Efficient, Inc., and I'm going to read them off with the recommended amount. I'm not going to change the first 2, so it's $127,195.51 for Birch Hill, and $168.37 for Maine Dunstable. What I am changing is application number 16. So the new total is $87,195.50 for Birch Hill, and for Maine Dunstable, it's $89,168.38. So the total going to Energy Efficient Inc. is $432,727.76. I'll show that adjustment at the end. For Harriman, 2 invoices for their design and contract administration, Birch Hill, Maine Dunstable, totaling $1,170. For Harvey Construction, for their work at Birch Hill, Maine, New Searles, $1,705,521.59. One invoice from Kalutas and Company, $50,542.80. That's the company that painted the locker room floors. One invoice from Musco, who did the lighting and Stellos, $25,310.94. Next one was an old invoice that we received. It was actually from 2023 for work at Pennachuck. So luckily, we haven't closed out the middle school project, so we still have the funds. But New England Traffic Solutions, $3,300. That was from some work they had to do in the intersection. Legitimate work, they did do the work. Actually, it was the city's traffic department that worked with them to arrive at that. The way that works, even if we get a bill that's late a couple of years, we're still have to pay it. O'Rourke, who is doing the fence work, and actually this invoice is for deposit for the gates, $4,350. Rhino Shield for the painting in the concourse. This is the second payment. It's for $27,316.66. RPF Environmental for asbestos remediation, New Searles, $1,281.20. And Turner Group for their design work at New Searles security upgrades, $17,000. Those all add up to, for Birch Hill, Maine Dunstable, $1,268,282.87. Pennachuck Middle School, $3,300. For the security vestibule project, $889,417.68. For Stellos Stadium, $124,395.40. And the new total is $2,285,295.95.
Okay. So I'd be looking for a motion to approve the amended invoices for a total of $2,285,295.95.
I'll make the motion, but I still do not understand the EEI part, so I'd like to go back to that.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, I think Ms. Raymond had a question about, to get more understanding about the E EEI.
Yes, so I'm not clear on what it is that they haven't completed and what the plan is for having it be completed.
Okay, we pointed out these deficiencies to them through the spring, early in the summer. We gave them a comprehensive list. Actually, I have the original email on July 25th, and told them there was 18 items on this one, and told them if they complete it all by this meeting, then we'd go ahead and release all the retainage. So they didn't complete it all. And that's why I'm recommending we withhold 40,000. I figured I didn't just come out of midair. I kind of figured that might be the value of the work they haven't done, plus a little bit more.
So what exactly is it that's outstanding, and how are we going to, like, if they just don't do it, like, what is it? Is it something that's going to impact our kids? What's the?
No, not really. I mean, the impact is they don't get paid.
Right, I mean,
unless
but
they do it.
the items that they were supposed to do.
So there is a disconnect on a unit in the gym. Doesn't affect the kids. A couple issues where so every air handler has filters in it, or a series of filters in it. And typically you open the door and slide them in.
Yep.
And in this case, like the grooves were not lined up and you couldn't put the filters in properly, or there wasn't anything to hold them in place. In one case, they had a pipe running in front of the door. Couldn't even open the door. So that one they actually fixed.
But one would think you would need the filters in there, like, I'm thinking of my own home, and you need the filters in
Yes.
order to run your, your furnace or your air conditioner safely.
Yeah, and it's jury rigged right now, so it does filter the air, but it's not a long-term solution.
I just hate the idea that we've spent millions of dollars making these schools safe and upgraded for our kids, and then we have a stupid air filter problem that didn't get fixed. Like, that just seems not awesome. I see Alderman Sullivan's face as I'm talking, like you're having the same thoughts.
Yeah, can you add some color to the conversations that you've had with them? I mean, I understand that you've withheld some money, but what does that sound like in the real world?
I've whipped out my best Coast Guard language with them. Yeah, I mean, each of these items is fairly minor, but in total, you've had, was it 3 years to fix all this stuff and to install it properly, and it's still not fixed. So I'm certainly not happy. I mean, it's not only do we have to crack the whip, but now we have to go back, after they say they do something, we go
Yeah.
back and check.
Well, should,
That's what I was gonna say, is luckily we had people to go in and check to see that, like, the layperson wouldn't know that that wasn't done well.
But
So,
But also, we've done a lot of work with EEI, right? Like, they've been in many, many of our buildings on many, many projects. And so I hate to see this one getting dropped, and it makes me reluctant to want to do additional work with them.
It won't get dropped. I mean, we're gonna keep on pressing them to get the work done.
Alderman Sullivan?
thank you. I agree, and might I offer that we withhold more?
We could, so Gary Connors, who's my right-hand man and really responsible for the MEP work, he and I had an animated discussion in my office late in the afternoon today. So he wanted to withhold more.
I'm sorry?
He did want to withhold more. And he was, if they were asking for a total of 500, give them half of that.
Yeah.
I'm more of the opinion, and maybe people from the construction industry can chime in, if there's work that isn't complete, you determine the value of the work. That's typically what you withhold as far as paying for it. That's kind of what I did here, except that I wanted a little bit more. So I think 40,000 is more than enough to do the work in each of the two schools. But I wouldn't chafe against us deciding to hold more.
Because I'm thinking if we had to find a different contractor to fix what wasn't done, how much would that cost us, right? Like,
Of course.
It would be, I mean, I would echo Sean's comments that the standard practice would be to withhold the monetary value associated with the work plus a percentage as a point of leverage. I mean, that's typically what Harvey deals with when we're working through projects as well. I would state, to answer your question, Ms. Raymond, that in the event that you had to go to another contractor to have them complete these items, that is the avenue you would want to pursue, is not relieving those funds and using those funds to pursue the completion of the work to ensure that it is complete. I would state that I am in tune with the items. I have worked very closely with Mr. Smith and his team throughout the course of these projects to help them ensure that this work gets completed, and I have been working with Mr. Connors to try and resolve some of these items as well. And Harvey is always here to assist in the event that we need to complete these items prior to departure. I intend to bring my final bill to the committee in October, and I would state that very confidently, we sit currently as upwards of 500 in savings at Birch Hill and 200 in savings at Maine Dunstable, and upwards of that as we finalize contracts and release retainage to our subs that have completed their work. So I would offer that note as well. We are here to assist.
If I may.
continue.
I mean, I would be of the opinion that we would cover their costs. I mean, obviously, there's some hard costs that they had to go out and buy equipment, material, et cetera. I mean, we cover that. And then we would withhold basically labor cost. It's just my opinion. I mean, if, you know, you've said we've withheld 80,000 total.
That's my recommendation, is 80,000 total.
Do you feel that, well, you've said that you thought maybe it should be more, but I just want to, this isn't going to come out right, but I'm just going to say it. I just want to make it hurt a little. Like I want them to understand that we need these things. This is important for the health and safety of the environment of the schools, and I want to make sure that they're held to some account on this, and to make sure that it gets done in a timely manner. I know we're putting you in a tough spot, Mr. Smith, but I feel you've had that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to besmirch anybody's reputation, particularly when it's on television. But we've had issues with this company. They are not, like Harvey is very organized. I'm not saying it just because you're here. They're very organized. They know construction. They know how to run a construction project. EEI is very good at identifying energy-saving methods. We hired them to do the two high schools, and they did a good job with that. For actually running a construction job of the size of this, I think it really stressed them, and their ability to get it done. I mean, the fact that we hired them to do all the MEP work, mechanical, electrical, plumbing. Got towards the end of the project, we had to replace the transformer. And EEI said, oh, we didn't account for that. I said, good. Harvey, go do that. And they did it just easily. So it's kind of telling. I wouldn't suggest that we hire them again for any major construction jobs, though. If we want them to do energy saving of things, I think that's their niche. But large-scale construction jobs is probably a little bit above their water level.
Alderman Wilshire?
Thank you. Thank you. I think if it's the norm to withhold the monetary value of what the leftover work that's not been done, I wouldn't support withholding more. I think going with the industry standard would be the way to go.
Okay. If I don't see a motion presenting itself to amend the retaining funding, then I think we should just go ahead with the vote for the invoice.
I'd like to make a motion to withhold 100,000.
And we don't need a second for that because we're in sorry. Board of Ed you have to make a motion, then get it seconded. We don't have to have it seconded here, right?
Oh.
Okay. We do on the Board of Ed, so we get a little mixed up when we step into your world.
I forget what world I'm in.
I'm literally on the wrong side of the table right now. Okay, so on the motion to withhold, well, it's not a motion because we have a motion on the table, so the motion would be to amend the motion would be to amend the amended invoices for an additional $20,000 to total $100,000 retained for the EEI work. And we will, any other comments or questions on that? Ms. Raymond?
I do, because I think we're wading into like legal territory here, right? Like we've done a lot of work at my house, but if a contractor didn't do part of the work and I didn't pay him, I wouldn't pay him for the work he hadn't done. And if I withheld more than that, I would expect that he would sue me. Or I would then sue him if I paid him for work he wasn't done. Like, so I'm anticipating if this becomes litigious, is it defensible to withhold more than what we think the value is, plus a percentage for, time and effort or whatever? I just don't know. It's outside of my wheelhouse.
Again, I think the 40,000 per school covers that. It covers the material that have to be used, so it's the labor to do it, and then a certain 10% more.
Right. But I want it to get done, and at this point, I don't actually have strong feelings about whether we make EEI go back and do it, or if you find another contractor who's able to do that work for the amount of money that we're not paying them. To me, is irrelevant. I just want our kids to be safe and have, safe air handling.
I withdraw my motion.
Oh, I didn't even write it down. You're the best.
I guess I'm really conflicted about it.
That's okay. Okay,
Just
so,
make sure it gets done.
Right?
I agree.
I want to step over dimes to pick up pennies.
I like that.
Copyright John Sullivan.
Into the notes it goes. Okay, so we are back to the original motion to approve the amended invoices as outlined in Mr. Smith's presentation for a total of $2,285,295.95. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Oh, you had to throw me for a loop on like my stand-in moment, huh?
Sorry.
It's okay, I appreciate the discussion. I have to apologize, I did get a call, if anybody saw me react. Julia called me from school. I had decline her call. Because I'm busy. First week in school, it's fine. It's not that traumatizing for her or me. Okay, so I am now looking for a motion to adjourn.
Second that motion.
Thank you, Alderman Wiltshire. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. We are out of our meeting at 8:01 PM.